What would be your message to any one of them who may be dealing with some stuff that's causing them some stress at the moment?
I'd say go and speak to your partner or look over the gate to your mate. Put your head over the gate and say, mate, I'm battling a bit here. Because you know what? He'd be the first bloke to help you.
What about those people who are family members or friends or mates that are worried about somebody else who might be going through something that's pretty challenging at the time?
Treat him with the utmost respect for a start, but actually help them in any way they can. And tell them you're there for them. And you're only a phone call away, because talking is the first step.
Thanks very much for being a part of this on behalf of the Frawley family, everyone that's come here, and the players and the coaches for taking the time. The significance of this is that right now is the time that the ball should be bounced for this game. But we're going to take a couple of minutes to talk about what this is all about.
Saints fans, welcome to an awesome episode of the Saints TV podcast, leading up to the very special game on Friday night against the Brisbane Lions. We've got Spud's game, and without further ado, our guests for tonight, we've got Chelsea Frawley and Kirstan, who runs the centre here. Welcome. How are we?
Great. Thank you so much for having us, guys. It's in the middle of a big week for us and also a big week last week with Spud's lunch too.
Beautiful. And how are you doing, Chelsea?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, it was a really, really fun week last week. We're really excited for the game this Friday. And yeah, thanks guys for having us on.
Oh, of course. It's great to be here. It's an amazing centre as well. We've just been given the grand tour. We've seen the pools, we've seen the Pilates room, we've seen the workout room downstairs, the gym and everything. And apparently a lot of past players are getting in and using the gym as well. So
Cozzy, Joey, to name a few, I think, are jumping around, and we just bumped into Cozzy. He's partnering you in the office there. How's that?
Yeah. It's been awesome to have Coz back here. He's a massive part of driving the past players back here. That was a massive part of why this kind of started out as a conversation between Dad and Matt Finnis, early stages. And he was really passionate about having the past players come back and reconnect, because he was seeing that there was such a disconnect as soon as they were leaving the club. You know, footy is a pretty brutal industry at times, and being able to have a place for players to come back and connect was something he was really passionate about. So it's awesome to see Joey and Cozzy and have Cozzy here driving that as well.
Oh, beautiful. Now, we've got a bit of a curtain raiser happening on Friday night before the game. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on there?
Yeah.
I think it's amazing.
Are you pulling on the boots, Kirstan?
I'm not, but I'm about to intro here, so star player here.
You're playing, aren't you? You're in it.
I am playing. I'm really excited to be a part of it. There's going to be 2 teams of 9. I think I'm on the green team, which is super exciting. Gary's my coach. Tim Watson's coaching the other team. But it's really great. We've got a fair few mental health advocates playing in the game, such as Dylan Buckley and Daniel Gorringe, Archie Thompson as well. I know he's really passionate in this space. So to be able to have people like them buying into what we're trying to do is absolutely awesome, and a testament to, you know, the St Kilda Football Club and the platform that we have here at the Danny Frawley Centre.
That's wicked. And what time does that kick off?
7:20.
7:20.
Yeah. Any of my friends that are listening, please try and get there at 7:50.
Don't back yourself on Marvel.
No, it'll be a lot of fun. I'm just kidding.
And the question on everyone's lips is it going to be shirt tucked in or out, and socks up or down?
I'm looking at Anna at the back because I've already had an outfit check and I'm not impressed with it. So definitely not a tuck shirt for me. I'm not sure about the others, but yeah. Definitely not for me.
And where are you lining up?
I think I'll go. I'm lining up with a fair few greats of the game, so I think I'll go where I'm put. Try and hide behind a few players. I think I've worded up Cozzy that just not to worry if he sees a shadow behind him. It's just me hiding from the ball.
Carl Dittrich elements. I absolutely love it. That's fantastic. Now, this is the 3rd annual Spuds game. Leading up to this, I think we've had now a couple of years of experience behind us. We've really got some momentum going for the game. So, Kirstan, you're coming into the role. What can we expect now from this year's celebrations?
Yeah, look, I think you're right. It's building year on year. We're seeing that. We're feeling that all the time. So we hope we get more than 30,000 people show up to Spud's game this Friday night. So it's just amazing to have a really big showing of support from Saints fans, but also just from footy fans generally, regardless of their club focus. So those people turning up tells us they care about mental health for themselves, for the people around them. They're part of that movement. And then also for many of them, they'll get behind us by buying a Spuds game scarf, making a donation to the Danny Frawley Centre as well, and that's all money that helps us deliver even more impact.
Yeah. And on that, I think in the first one you raised 340,000. Then the next year was 605,000, and on top of that, last week on Friday, 222,000 already.
Yep.
We're going to crack the million. Would be amazing this year, wouldn't it, if we could do that?
It would be phenomenal this year. I think it is about raising the funds, but it's also about building support for what it is that we care about. So both of those things matter a whole lot. But as you talked about, 222,000 was what we raised at Spud's lunch last Friday, and that was far beyond our expectations. Anita Frawley, so Chelsea's mum, really led the charge with the fundraising. It was certainly an absolute strength for us on Friday, as well as the meaning that was created on that day. So many people are talking about that.
It's actually really funny because when we were driving home after the lunch, like, it's amazing that the number was 222 and Dad was number 2. Like, he definitely felt like he was there in the room driving it. Yeah. I didn't even think of it at the lunch, but we were talking about it in the car, and it's, I
wondered whether someone made a final donation to get that number. I thought you might have done that, but that's pretty cool. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've been thinking this year that there are angels watching over us, because I've said to the boys on the podcast, I'm seeing 66 everywhere. I'm seeing 66, and that's a great number. 2 plus 2 plus 2, 6. The sixes are lining up as well. So Spud's there, the angel's there. It's all coming home. I was on the way here, and I was driving behind a car that had a Saints sticker. It said, I think, ALU, Saints sticker, 66. It's all coming together. It's all coming together.
It must be.
Yeah.
You do well on Cam Mooney's numerology.
Numerology.
Yeah.
I've got to take photos next time.
Send them in.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I've got to lead the charge on that now. Now, in terms of Spud's lunch last week, how did everything go? Tell us a little bit about what happened. We saw some footage from some of our friends on other channels at the lunch. How were the proceedings?
Yeah, look, I think it was a fantastic day. We had 1,100 people turn up to that event. That's certainly the biggest lunch I've ever been a part of. We had Emma Murray talking to the audience as well. She spent 20 or 30 minutes talking a bit about her work around mindfulness and mindset and high performance mindset. She's had some great stories about when Danny asked her, or didn't really ask her, he actually demanded that she turn up to the Frawley household one day and teach the family all about mindfulness. So she was fantastic. I think the absolute highlight of the day was Chelsea and Cozzy, led by Hamish McLaughlin, actually having a really good, open conversation around their experiences around mental health. Cozzy in particular absolutely starred. He was open and generous and brave in what he shared with that audience. Hamish was a master at making that an amazing session for people. You could have heard a pin drop during that. So there's a lot of emotion in that. You look around the room, people just had tears streaming down their cheeks, and just a massive support for them. A standing ovation as well for Cozzy, which was really emotional to see. But just so important on days like that you really do connect to the actual purpose. You see real people and you understand the struggles that 2 in 5 Australians go through all the time around their mental health and wellbeing. So it really hit home. And then thankfully we had a really light end to the day. We had Gary Lyon and Jason Dunstall and Damien Barrett up there just getting everybody to be laughing at Spud's expense largely. But telling a lot of stories, showing a lot of footage, and really kind of getting a positive feel in the room as well.
Beautiful. Now, you all share an office with Cozzy. What's it like? Is it a lot of fun in there?
It is. It is a lot of fun. No, it's great to have him here, and it's a constant reminder of what we're doing. Yep. Being able to reconnect the past players, and for him to spearhead that in bringing them all back. The place is alive when he's in here, for sure.
Yeah. Did I hear there was a moon walking?
A moonwalk, I think, behind the scenes.
Very impromptu, you might say.
There was
someone asked a question about, can you moonwalk? And someone was trying to have a moonwalk, and then pretty much everyone in that vicinity had to go. Cozzy won, though. He said, I don't know if I can, but I think his long legs helped him. He got off the tiles onto the carpet. It was good,
Kirstan, I'd love to hear about your role here at the Danny Frawley Centre. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, look, my role is the Executive Director of the Danny Frawley Centre. So I was here at the point we opened the facility, and really my opportunity here is to see what health impact, particularly in the mental health space, we can create from a sporting platform. So my background is well and truly in the health system. So I've worked at Alfred Health for a long time. I've worked in Vic Health, and I've worked in Victorian Government. I've always loved sport. I've partnered with sport quite a lot throughout my career. But when there was an opportunity, Matt Finnis spoke to me about this role to come over and actually use a sporting platform to create health impact. It was a definite yes from me. So I think sport matters so much in our part of the world. We care about it. It's got huge power and huge influence. If we can do something good for mental health and wellbeing through sport, I'll be really happy.
And what's been the response just in the local area to this wonderful centre, really? Like stage 2 was completed earlier this year.
Yeah.
And you got some swish little psychology suites that are just itching to accommodate some folk. How's the response overall been?
Yep. Well, incredibly positive. I think you guys are here in the building right now, so you've seen it. So no one walks into this building and doesn't fall in love with its design. It's got an amazing view of the Oval here, but light and bright, and just such a great environment to be in. There's people local to this area who can't believe a facility like this just landed in their neighbourhood. So how did this happen? Yeah, right. In our local neighbourhood, we've now got access to all this support, and there's people from outside the area who make the effort to get here because they care about what it is that we're offering. They believe in our cause, and they travel to come here.
And have we been able to manoeuvre a few across from different teams to get behind the mighty Sainers? Because it wouldn't be the Danny Frawley Centre without the red, white, and black. You look down in the pool, you've got the lane ropes. It's Saints footy. Have we been able to convert a few people? You reckon?
It's actually funny you say that, because we were really trying, as a part of the decision-making process around the different graphics we put in the centre, we wanted it to feel like it wasn't St Kilda Football Club. So those lane ropes are the only nod in this place, and obviously this jumper here, to the St Kilda Football Club. But we want people who walk through the door to not feel like they have to go for a specific team to be welcomed into the place. So a lot of the interior design, the graphics we've chosen, all pay homage to, sorry, not very good at that word, not French. I'm not French. Pay homage to who he was as a person in his later life. He connected all parts of the footy world, and not just footy as well. He was definitely a legend of the St Kilda Football Club, but he was a lot more than that, and we want the place to feel like that as well.
Yep. We'll always be born out of the Saints. So that's part of our origins. We'll have big impact in the Saints community, but our impact can extend far beyond as well. So I think what Chelsea's saying is really important. Other supporters from other clubs, but also other codes of sport. Footy's a real strength of ours, but we're getting involved with basketball and netball and so many other codes too.
So we've gone through stage 2, obviously, it's just kind of finished up. We've got over 700 members, I believe, signed up at the moment. What's next in terms of the actual centre itself? Is there a stage 3? Is there more developments, or just growing on kind of what we've already done?
Yeah, in terms of the physical build, we're now complete.
Yep.
So we, in sort of March last year, opened up a stage, and then probably 6 or 8 weeks ago opened the second stage. So the building is now complete. It goes right round through the footy club of the Saints as well. Really what's ahead for us is to grow our impact, to grow our programs and our offerings. So we will keep doing more and more education programs, particularly for young people around their mental health and related areas. We're really building a great idea around mental fitness coaching. So we're looking at, we've got coaching expertise because we're a professional sporting organisation, and what does it look like if you actually coach people in individual or small group around their mental fitness to help them have better levels of mental fitness, so it protects them when things go wrong for them in their life, and that's hopefully a really game-changing solution. And then we will have treatment services too. So we know that there will be times, prevention will work for lots of people a lot of the time, but there will be occasions when it doesn't. And when it doesn't, we want to make sure that we've got the very best psychologists in our building here, ready there to see those people and provide the treatment support that they will need.
Leading into the game, let's talk about the vibe going in from this week. So obviously my favourite memories of Spud were on the bounce. And just the energy he provided to the show. So are we really bringing that attitude with us throughout this whole week to go take a really positive stance on really tackling mental health? And do you think that's where the idea for the scratch match came from?
Yeah, absolutely. So the past few years of Spud's game have really focused in on, the later end of mental ill health. And focusing on the story that came to me while we're here. But I think now it is absolutely bringing that lighter side of him to life through initiatives like the mini match. So I think it'll be a lot of fun, but there'll also be those important messages on the day around making sure that you're showing up for your mates and your family and encouraging people to do that, as well as have a great laugh as well.
Yep. And Chelsea, tell us a bit about your role here.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
So I'm the partnerships manager here at the Danny Frawley Centre. I work under Kirstan, and I look after all of our strategic and commercial partnerships through the Danny Frawley Centre.
Beautiful. And do you think that we're going to expand with other clubs as well? I think we've really set a really great standard here at Moorabbin to build this centre. Are we trying to reach other clubs and encourage them to do the same things?
Yeah, absolutely. So we want to have national impact. We want to drive our impact as much as we can, and that might be that we influence other clubs to create their own versions and really step forward in that space around mental health and wellbeing. And it might also be that other clubs come to us and go, can we access your services and your programs? And for us, it's about open doors, sharing as much as we can so more people can benefit from what it is we've got to offer.
Beautiful. I think without further ado, we're going to get cracking into Friday night's match. Make sure you get down there early, fans. Against the Brizzy Lions. It's a tough match, but we will come out on top, I reckon. Make sure you get there 7:20.
Yeah, not
and we want to see all of Chelsea's
7:50.
friends there. Not 7:50. Chelsea's friends.
Yep, all of them.
7:20.
7:20.
Yeah.
I'm really keen to see where you line up. So make
I might be hiding behind Cozzy, but it'll be all right.
You know what? He should be putting on the blocks. He should be arms
He's
out
the
open.
decoy. He's the decoy.
That's
Isn't he?
it. Yeah, we want to see a couple of schnags from you, Chelsea.
No pressure.
No pressure at all. No pressure at all. So make sure you get down nice and early. We'll be at the social club from 6:30 doing some interviews with some of the players, and then we'll be heading straight out to watch the scratch match beforehand. And of course, the 2 minutes delayed for the game, just to focus on the dedication to mental health and what we can do to help our friends and family. Marshy.
I've got one. Yeah, last one.
Marshy's
You
minute.
guys have been so generous with your time, and the last two Spud games, in terms of on-field performance, haven't been ideal. Let's be frank, but what would his message be for the boys running out on Friday night, do you think? It's a massive game for us in terms of how our season's positioned. Big game. What do you reckon his message to the lads would be?
That's a great question. I probably would have said the same thing the past 2 years, but it didn't necessarily go to plan. But I think he just want them to be out there having a real crack. It's still a game of footy. And it's important that we win. And, he was more passionate about St Kilda Football Club than anything. I mean, obviously his family, but St Kilda Football Club, absolutely up there. So I think he'd want them to go out there and show Brisbane Lions why we deserve to play finals this year.
Yeah, well said. Well, Jake, you got anything?
Just get down saying, you said 30,000, but I really want to crack the 40. I want to get a big crowd. Primetime football, we want to raise a lot of money. So donate, get to the game, wear your colours, go Saints.
Yeah, I roped my Richmond mates in last week. So rope them in, bring them over, get them a scarf. It's all going to a good cause. Make sure you get a scarf outside the gates and convert them just for one night. That's all we're asking. We're just asking for one night of Saints footy because who down here is going to go for the Brizzy Lions? Can't the Saints. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for having a chat with us. It was great to learn a little bit more about the centre and your roles at the centre. And lastly, go Saints.
Go Saints.
Go
Thanks, guys.
Saints.